everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So today I am using the super large floral wreath that came in the kit, and I'm going to stick it a little bit off center and cut that excess off once it's all dried. So you can see I just popped a whole ton of glue just right in the middle. I didn't want to worry about dealing with all the intricate little bits and pieces around the edge. I thought once it's in its 12 by 12 projector, it'll sit nice and flat anyway. So once that is all stuck down, I get to town with creating. So I've matted my photo with just a white mat because I'm going to add a fair few layers all the way around the page. Now, Emily in the photo is wearing black and white, so I decided I would use that black and white border strip along with the pink one, but I am going to cut it quite a bit shorter than this. I'm just getting a general gist as to how short it needs to be, how much is going to stick out of the sides. That was a little scrap leftover piece, and I realized on the other side that it actually is like a tag, so I'm going to use that tag as sticking out from underneath my photos. Waste not, want not. I was literally going to throw it in the bin, and then when I turned it over I was like, oh no, I can use that. So I decided I would. Just cutting out the center. I was about to say I don't have a hole punch small enough. I do, but it's a spring-loaded hole punch. So the way that works is I pull the spring back and I let it go, and it goes bang and pierces a hole into the paper. It's the same. It's like an eyelet maker all in one. So you pierce the hole with it, and then you turn it the other way, and again you pull it back and let it go. And the banging effect squashes the eyelet into your page, and it works beautifully, but it's loud. And Thomas was asleep, so I just used my Stanley knife to cut out that little hole. The two little green flourishes I put at the top and the bottom of my photo, I just hand cut those with my scissors off camera. The flourish down the bottom, I just folded my piece of paper gently in half so the crease wasn't super strong, and cut, a flowy point, which meant it was the same on either side. And the scalloped paper along the top, I just gently folded my paper into quarters and did the same thing, just cut one half circle through all four of the quarters, and that meant all of the half circles were the same when I opened it back up. So as you can see, lots and lots of layers. So this is why I didn't put too many mats on my photo. I decided that all the layers and the bits and pieces I'm going to put around my photo would be enough. So I really wanted those border strips to just be pop of colour in behind everything, so I kept those pretty short. In hindsight, they're probably one tiny bit too short, but that's okay. I think just that little pop of colour still works. So now I've got to get to town gluing everything you just saw down on my page. And you know what it's like. You plan it out and it's beautiful, and you never quite get it exactly how you had planned. But fingers crossed. I'm going to pop my photo up on foam. I nearly always do that. I find it just gives the photo just a little bit of a lift and helps to point out that it's more of the focal point than the other bits and bobs on the page. As much as the embellishments and the colours and the layers are all important and make the page an artwork in itself, the photograph is the reason for me. That's the whole reason why the paper was the layout was being made in the first place. That string that I'm using is crochet thread, so it's a little bit thicker, probably the same thickness as baker's twine, but I find that if you don't buy good quality baker's twine, it untwines. So this does not do that. This stays whole, so that's what I'm using. I just really liked that little teddy bear from the cut apart sheet, so I wanted to use that. And again, you must have seen that just complete scrap piece of paper that I've just got sticking there. Didn't want to waste it, liked the pink, so decided to roll with it, just pop it in underneath. I've got a pink sticking out on the other side, so I thought it'd be nice just to have a few more layers. I will stick down my photo last. I want to wait until I've got everything in its right place, and even then I've just messed this up a teensy bit. I didn't want to cover all of that original big square of sort of goldy flourish around the edge. You can basically not see any of it right now. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Sorry. You can basically not see any of it right now, and I wanted to. That was the whole point that I put it down. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was even just a tiny bit poking out, but still there, still poking out. So there we have it. And then I just really liked that. Oh, I'm just popping a little bit of glue underneath my threads so they stay still. And then I just really liked that it says funny and smart. And I thought that was perfect. So popping on my photo now. And then I was going to use that floral piece. I cut it out especially for this page, but in the end I decided for the feel of everything else on the page, it actually didn't really work. It didn't really go with the page, so I put it aside and I'll use it on a different layout. And instead I will use some more things off my amazing favourite sticker sheet. But what and where and how, I am still not sure yet. So obviously I want something up in that corner, but I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that. So let's do what I do know, and that is my title. So I've popped on a very original title, literally explaining what these photos are for, but you know that's always important. I will add journaling, but I do my journaling off screen later on, mostly because I often won't do my journaling for days or weeks after I've finished the layout because I'm lazy. And my journaling I do on a typewriter, and my typewriter is noisy and I don't want to do it while Thomas is asleep. So yeah, I really need another scrap room, people. I tried to convince Matt I should get a she shed. He didn't go for it, but I'll keep trying. You know, the only reason he didn't go for it, he doesn't want me to escape out there and leave him with the boys inside. I think it sounds delightful. That snail was too cute not to use. I just love that whole sticker sheet. It's the best. So I am just about finished, I think. I'm going to do some enamel dots and some Heidi Swapp Colour Shine, and then I think I am finito. So let's pop on a few more of these gorgeous little hearts because I love them. Oh, popping up the ladybug because that's cute. So sometimes it's hard to tell you about what's happening on my page because it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm about to cover up my photo and do my Heidi Swapp Colour Shine. Or in your case, if you have the mixed media kit from a few weeks back, you could absolutely use the Jen Hatfield gold. It would work beautifully. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour of gold. I'm just trying to finish off this colour shine before I open a new one. And then once this guy is done, I'm just doing a few extra bigger blotches. I am going to do my enamel dots, and I've got those gorgeous Lucky Us enamel dots just right there. They're so cute. I love the hearts. I love the sparkle. I just love them. At first when I looked at them, I'm like, oh, there's not very many, but there's plenty. I have managed to get some on most of my layouts this month, so I'm very excited about that. And then I thought that I was finished. I actually put this layout aside and didn't work on it for a few days. and continued on with a few other of my layouts. And then when I looked at all my layouts, I decided I felt like this one was lacking something. It was missing something. So I actually decided, thank goodness I didn't stick down the edges of this large floral wreath, because I've actually decided to come along and back the back of some of these flowers and love hearts with some coloured paper, just like it's a cut file. Because, yeah, I just felt like this layout needed something else to help it pop off the page. It was just feeling a little bit, for want of another word, flat. So I don't recommend trying to do this after your whole rest of your layout is glued down and secure and finished. I definitely recommend backing this floral wreath before you glue it to your page. But anyway, I did manage to get that done. So I am going to show you how that finished off. And you can be the judge as to whether you think it was a necessary addition or not a necessary addition. Either way, I've done it. And I quite like it. I just felt I didn't necessarily needed to back the cut file, the wreath. I could have used a bit more of maybe some mixed media in the back of the wreath on the pattern paper. I just felt like it needed something though to help sort of pull that wreath off the page. So I've got some close-up photos for you coming right now. So hopefully you think backing those bits and bobs in the wreath was an improvement. Hopefully you enjoyed this layout process and all of those layers and all the little bits and pieces I've included. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this layout and stick around for the next one.